This is one of those videos in which we tackle some of the major truths about life because I keep thinking about my younger self. I keep thinking about my childhood and all of the terrible things that I went through because I had, just like everybody else, I suffered from a lot of delusions. I relied upon certain ideas which were false. Okay? I thought that I had people who had my back. I thought that I could be dependent upon certain people, like family, relatives, friends, you name it. I thought that no matter what happens, that there will be somebody that would, fight for me, protect me, be there for me, etc., etc. And for the most part, that turned out to be false. And I think that a lot of people go through with this, and even if they're older, they refuse to accept this simple truth, which is this, okay? This is one of the great truths about life, and this is one of those pieces of advice that can help you and probably save your life and improve your life dramatically. I'm not here to depress anybody or offend anybody, but this is, I feel like, one of the major truths that a lot of people just reject because it is too horrible. Which is this: in my opinion, I think we are on our own in this life. Okay, we are on our own, and the sooner we acknowledge this and accept this fact, the sooner and the faster uh, we grow and mature and just learn to avoid a whole lot of suffering in life. This is what accepting this truth does to you. By accepting that you are on your own, you can avoid a whole lot of unnecessary suffering. It's so very important in life to avoid suffering. And this is something that I wasn't taught. I was not taught how to avoid suffering. And because of this, I was miserable for a lot of years. Because I had this concept that, I just got my people, my tribe, my group, my clique, my friends. We all think that we have at least a special somebody that cares about us. And of course, don't get me wrong, there are exceptions, of course. I'm not trying to generalize, but this is the case for a lot of people. Especially when you're younger, you, in a way, cannot help yourself but believe the lie that, this person or that person is by my side. They care about me, they would sacrifice a lot for me, etc., etc. Of course, these things happen on occasion, and those people are lucky who have this. But as it turns out, most of us, we do not have those people. Actually, we were deceived, and we deceived ourselves. It's such a tragic thing. I could not believe that I was on my own when I was way younger. I thought, because for example, I had that one special friend, and I thought, me and this special friend, we're gonna have a wonderful life together. We got each other's backs. We be vibing. We just know everything about each other. We spend a lot of time together. I thought that this friend of mine would be there for me, and as it turns out, no, that friend was not there for me when I needed this person. And it hurt. And of course, we all think that no matter what, our family will be there for us, and our parents, our siblings, our grandparents, our relatives. We think that these blood relations will stand beside us when life gets difficult. And sometimes this happens, but it is a rare thing. Frequently, we find out that we are alone, that we are just on our own. This is just, of course, I'm speaking from my example, from my experience, but in my case, whenever a really important moment or situation happened, the major moments in life, when those moments happened, when I needed somebody to just, pat me on the back and tell me that everything will be all right, and help me, there was nobody there. There was nobody there to encourage me. There was nobody there to tell me a kind word. There was no reassurance for various reasons. And because of this, I was hurt. And I was at the mercy of despair. And I was afraid. And I was scared. And I was just crying. And nobody was there. And it took its toll. It affected me in a serious manner. And it just took me so long to convince myself that I was on my own, because I just could not believe that all of these people that were in my life, I could not believe that they just couldn't care. And this is very important. This is very important, especially for younger people, that you might have your group of friends, and you grew up with these people. Maybe you think that you are just tight. But if you look back, and maybe this is not the case with you, but with a lot of people, this is the case, that if you look back, whenever there was a moment when you were vulnerable, when you were weak, when you just needed somebody to help you, to assist you, I can guarantee you that nobody did. And if they did, I mean, you're blessed. You are just lucky as hell, and I'm super jealous. Good on you. But this is, I think, what happens to a lot of people. I can certainly look back on my life whenever I needed somebody, and they just disappointed me every step of the way. Okay, the people that I trusted, the people that I relied on, not only disappointed me in crucial moments of my life when I needed support, etc., but this is another thing, another truth that I have discovered. Okay, and it is not your enemies who will hurt you the most. Your loved one, actually. Your loved ones are the ones who will hurt you the most in your life. And get this, they will hurt you unintentionally. It will not be voluntarily. Your loved ones will hurt you carelessly, with negligence, without even considering your feelings in the process. They will just do shit or say shit without thinking, and that thing will hurt you the most, and they will not even notice. It's a tragedy. But I think this is something that has to be acknowledged, because we all live with these delusions. We are so controlled by these illusions that, we're somebody, and that people care about us and people love us, and we are just so important, and we are just so popular, and don't you know that everybody loves us? And I think this is a prideful egotistical thing that is not real. It has no factual basis. And of course, this is human. This is the human condition, human nature. When we were younger, of course, all of us suffered from this delusion in which we believed that we were somebody. We thought we were hot shit. Of course, I'm no exception. When I was way younger, I thought that I was somebody in my neck of the woods. I thought that I was an individual with personality, and I thought that I was clever, and I thought that I was relatively good looking, and blah blah blah, and I thought that I was funny, and I thought that because of all of these qualities, I thought that people cared about me as I cared about them. And this is another terrible thing that has to be said. You know, no matter if it is your family or relatives or neighbors or colleagues at work or your classmates or your group of friends, this is generally the situation that we refuse to accept because it hurts us, which is this, that no matter who these people are that you love so much and you think they love you back, this is it. They do not love you as much as you love them. They do not care about you as much as you care about them. They do not think about you as much as you think about them. And this is the case. This is something that we refuse to acknowledge. Because we think that we share these sentiments. We think that our feelings are, both ways, mutual. We think that it is the same intensity, and all the while, these people that we just admire and obsess over, these people who we want their affection, they couldn't be bothered. They do not care as much. They are a bit indifferent. Okay, and this is the thing that it hurts. Okay, it hurts, and we understand how deeply this cuts. The wound that this hurt leaves is just monumental. It is one of the big traumas of being human. When you spend so many important years with these people and you share the most intimate, private things with these people, and you think you have a bond that is unbreakable, and you think about them, and you just want these people to just be good and happy, and you want to make them happy, and you just think that they are concerned about you in the same way. You think these people got your back. You think these people care about you. You think these people, cannot wait to buy you a birthday present to put a smile on your face. And the truth of the matter is this. Of course, there are exceptions, but this is the truth, folks, that most people couldn't care less about you. Okay? This is something that I struggled with for a long time. And this is something that people struggle with all over the world. They cannot accept the fact that other people do not care about them. Okay? The people that you run with, your entourage, your circle of friends, relatives, whatever, your clique, they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to joke around with you. They don't have a discussion about this or that. They don't care about what anime you watch. They don't care that you're suffering right now. They don't care that you can't pay rent. They don't care that you have free hernias. They don't care that you are one step away from hanging yourself. They don't care that you are experiencing a despair on a level that they can't even imagine. Okay? This is facts. This is, I'm not trying to mock anybody. I'm not trying to offend anybody. This is the truth. That the people that you think love you so much, and you think these people cannot get enough of you. These people, they tolerate you, bruh. Okay, this is the biggest thing. And I think you have to grow up. You have to mature and be an adult to accept something like this and to see it for what it is. This is the problem with people, that they cannot grow up. People cannot grow up and see things for what they really are, because you can see it clearly, folks. The people that you love so much, they tolerate you. They are annoyed by you and they placate you. They tolerate you, and they just cater to your need for affection, because they don't want confrontation. They don't want to challenge the status quo, but they don't enjoy being with you for a prolonged period of time. People have their own stuff to do, okay? They talk to you because they have no choice. They hang around with you because they don't have any choice, because they don't want to stir the pot, okay? The people that you think care about you so much, they actually don't. They don't really think about you that often. They do not consider your feelings. Almost never. They never considered the possibility that maybe you are not doing good. And maybe you need help, but maybe you do not have the ability to tell people that you need help. They don't think about this, bro. And even if you told them, okay, this is another truth that most people refuse to accept, is that if you go to the people that are your people and you tell them, listen, bro, I ain't got no money, I'm desperate, I just don't feel good, I think I'm sick, I think I'm dying, and you name every example that you want, people don't want to give you money, they don't want to help you, they don't want to squander their time and their energy on you. Haven't you noticed? People are pretending, okay? They do not want to appear as if they are mean, bad, evil people, and they give you all sorts of alibis and excuses. But on the inside, folks, this has to be said, because we're all adults here. Okay, be it your family, your friends, your lover, or even your spouse. I mean, they don't want to just... There are exceptions, of course, but they don't want to just waste their precious time on you all the time because you can't get your shit together. I mean, we have to be realistic. We have to be realistic and grow up, because we cannot be ruled by the dictates of this delusion that, don't you know, my people, my tribe, my group, they care about me. They are one of I'm one of them, and they have accepted me. And oh boy, they can't sleep at night because I have an ingrown toenail. This is not the case. This is not the case. People move on. If you were to die at this moment in excruciating agony, they would move on. They would not even shed a tear, and they would ask, so what's for dinner? Okay, I'm being a bit harsh, but this is true. I have seen this. I have seen this so many times, okay? And the gist of it is this, that the sooner you accept that you are on your own, okay, it is so freeing, so liberating, okay, to understand. Of course, it is painful to know that nobody gives a flying fuck about you. It is, especially for a young person. It is devastating, but but it's so freeing at the same time, because now you are free. You have autonomy. You are sovereign, and you have no lingering attachments to anybody. Therefore, nobody can manipulate you or take advantage of you or extort you or blackmail you or manipulate you psychologically, etc., etc. You are free from all of these people, because in the end, this is the great truth about life, that no matter the relationships, no matter how deep or intense or superficial, or no matter how long their duration is, in the end, the great truth is this: that human relations, uh, they are not what they used to be. They are not reliable. Relationships are not fail-safe. They are not guaranteed. They are not what they used to be. Okay, people nowadays, especially, they just see you as an advantage. They see you as a tool to be used. How can I use this dummy? Okay, how can I extort this dummy without this dummy noticing? This seems to be relationships today. What can I get out of this relationship? What advantage do I have? It seems that relationships today are based on what the other person can provide, not emotions, feelings, intimacy, loyalty, fidelity, whatever. And of course, at the first sign of trouble, those people just jump out the window and you'll never see them again. Especially if you are if you need some money, right? They're gone. They're gone. So yeah, you're on your own. You are on your own. And I always say this. I don't know if I've coined this phrase, but this is it. This is what I've come up with. You are born alone, you live alone, and you die alone. Everything in between, all of the interconnected mingling and socializing that you happen to do at random or intentional, all of that it is nothing. It is superficial. It's just something that you have to do, and this is it. You think that you leave an impression on people. You think that at a party or a gathering, you've made people laugh, and you think people have taken notice of you, and you think that you have left an indelible impression on people. This isn't the case, bruh. I'm sorry to have to burst your bubble, but people have already forgotten about you. This is a major thing that people need to accept, because it's so healthy to understand that people don't think about you. People don't care about you. People don't wonder how you're doing, how you're feeling. People just ask you out of theatrics. See, this is the thing, that even your closest loved ones just ask how you're doing, etc., etc., for the sake of appearances. For the sake of appearances, right? They don't want to hear that you're one step away from a major meltdown or outburst or a manic episode. They don't want to hear about this stuff. They don't want to hear how depressed you are, and especially they don't want to hear that you need help. They don't want to help you. They got their own shit to do. This is very important. I feel like this is very important for people to finally acknowledge that, folks, of course there are exceptions, and if you are in this type of relationship where there is trust and there is a bond, and you all have each other's backs, then you are extremely lucky and extremely blessed, and I'm jealous. But for the most part, we're on our own out here. It is a simple fact. It hurts, but after the hurt dissipates, you become a different person. You become stronger. You become more resilient. You can manage on your own finally. You can endure a lot of things when you understand that you're alone, you're on your own. You become tough in a certain way. And once you understand that you are on your own, you cannot be scared anymore. You cannot be frightened anymore. You cannot despair anymore. You cannot be miserable or pathetic anymore, and you no longer chase fake affection. You no longer chase the validation of others. Once you understand that everything has been phony and fake and a facade and a nothing but pretending, charades. Once you understand that this is what human interaction actually is, a whole lot of pretending for the sake of appearances, then you finally can resign from this spectacle. You can finally withdraw from the human circus, that is society and so-called human interaction and relationships, because it's all just pretending for the sake of appearances, theatrics. People just ask how you're doing, how was your weekend, are you feeling all right, are you good, for the sake of conversation. They don't care. What do you think they're gonna do when you tell them, oh yeah, I want to hang myself because life is unbearable, and I'm so lonely, and I just feel bad all the time. What do you think these people are gonna do if you tell them the truth? They're gonna tell you, ooh, that's unfortunate. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta return some videotapes. They're not gonna help. I don't know. Maybe I'm just telling a whole lot of nonsense, but it certainly helped me. It certainly improved my life when I finally understood that no matter what I went through, when the important moments arrived, when I was just one step away from breaking and collapsing, there was simply nobody there. And I asked myself, why was this the case? Were people too busy? Were people just, did they not know how to handle or approach me? And the truth of the matter was this, that the people that I cared and trusted and relied on, they couldn't be bothered to notice that I was in a terrible situation. They couldn't be bothered to notice, let alone care enough to just try to help me or just comfort me in any way. This was a major blow, but let me tell you, it does something to you. It 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 strengthens you. Okay, it strengthens you on another level when you understand you're on your own. You're on your own out here, and no matter what happens to you, small or major, nobody will care. Nobody will come to help you or assist you. When this is finally embraced, the great truth that nobody will ever care about you, then you can finally, just divorce this whole thing and just live in peace. You, from this point on, live a life devoid of delusions and preconceived notions, like the fact that people love you. Okay? You live a life that is, in a way, more pure. Because no longer will your mind be infested by nonsensical gibberish that has no validity or logic behind it. Okay? And I'm not trying to, I guess I'm not trying to scare anybody or depress anybody, but this is the truth. This is the truth. Okay? Look back on your life when you really needed somebody. when you were just in a bottomless pit of despair, and tell me if somebody even cared to notice, let alone actually help you. Okay? And there were moments in my life, okay, when I was just defeated, and I kind of told the people around me, listen, I need help. I'm not doing good. Give me some advice. Help me. And they were like, oh, this and that, and then they were like, well, I can't really come by right now because I got to do this, and of course they never really came by. They were actually more interested in having a good time on vacation or whatever. So I decided then and there to stop, cease and desist, just relying on other people, because I understood that in my case, at least, nobody gives a flying fuck. All they want is for me to give to them and help them and be useful to them. But when it is on the other hand, when they have to help me, they're always busy. So it is in a way a magical moment. Okay, and it might be dark. It might be, I don't know, pessimistic, even nihilistic, maybe, but it is still magical because now you're free. Do you understand? People don't understand the significance of this. You're free now. You're free now. Okay? When I was younger, all the time I was almost enslaved by the phone, messages, calls, appointments. Let's go here, let's go there, let's do this. Even on the weekend, even on holidays, let's go there, let's go this, do this for me, do that for me, let's go here and do this for me. All the birthdays, all of the gifts, all of this, all of that. And it was just a waste of time, because I refused to accept the painful truth that was staring me in the face, which was this, that these people never cared about me. Not really. I was just a useful fool, a useful idiot. And that's something you never want to be. For the most part, I feel like people accept you and allow you to be in their presence, etc., is because you are useful to them, because you provide something to them that is useful, advantageous. Okay? This is something that has to be accepted. The only reason people allow you in their presence is because you are useful. You provide something that is advantageous. Not because of who you are as an individual human being, not because you're funny, smart, etc., not because they love you and appreciate you and admire you and you're charming and you're funny. Okay? But that's about it. If you enjoy this content, if you want to support your boy, I got a few books on Amazon. The link will be down below. Thanks for watching. If the link does not work, you can search my name, Griffith Samsara. See ya.